Hello, and welcome back! Or if this is your first time watching, hello, welcome. My name is Philocalix, and I like to play and build in Sims 4, which is why today I'm coming to you with another speed build. And this time we're doing a build in Sulani, using the Island Living Pack, and specifically doing a bit of a vacation rental, or at least that's what I'm imagining it would be. However, you could absolutely use it as just a place to live in, like a residential. Though that's up to you if you want to use this build, then up to you what kind of story you want to tell. It is only a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. It's pretty small, and I used only Island Living and NoCC, and besides that, just basic game, because I don't think you can build a house without base game, but it might be a fun challenge to try someday. So let me know in the comment section if you're interested in seeing me attempting to do that. Anyways, as you can see, we're doing the shell first, and I chose to do a blue exterior wall to kind of give it more of the ocean feeling, since obviously this is in Sulani and most of the lots are near the water, and this one is. So I chose for the blue one, and I am starting on the bathroom, or almost finishing it, I think. Actually, no, I changed a lot of things during the entire build, so it's a bit chaotic. I'm sorry about that beforehand, but I was really kind of struggling with how to lay out this house, even though it's so small, so how many options do you really have? But I did end up having the kitchen where I'm putting it now, and the bathroom is also so staying in the place where it is right now, but I'm just making it bigger later on. And then on top we've got the bedroom, or at least it will be the bedroom. You can see I already put a bed in, and I wanted to keep that space really small, but this was a bit too small, so also made that a bit bigger, so there's actually some space to walk around. Though I do think it would have been functional the way it was before. And the bathroom is a bit of a weird, skinny, small, long space, but I did make it work eventually. I really wanted to have a bathtub underneath the window, and I did eventually get to do that, so I'm happy about that. And we're just continuing to struggle about the layout, but I eventually decided that I wanted the sink between the two windows, so there would be place to have a mirror as well, because I did like the idea of having the sink underneath the window, but also I do prefer to have a mirror with the sink, which I think is just really realistic in real life. I also prefer to have a mirror above my sink, so I can just kind of look at myself while doing things like brushing my teeth, or great if you want to do makeup. In The Sims, of course, that's not as important, but I just think that having a mirror above the sink is realistic. And here I'm kind of figuring out the living room situation, and eventually deciding that they're not gonna have a living room inside the house. We're just gonna have a dining table there, as well as the kitchen, which is finished already. And I'm just having some couches and stuff outside, because I feel like if you're living in Sulani, you're mostly living outside, or at least that's kind of what I like to do in living in Sulani. Though it is nice if you have a big house, if you can have everything indoors as well, because I do think it rains sometimes in Sulani. I'm not sure about that, actually. I don't really play a lot in Sulani. Let me know, do you like playing in Sulani? When I just got it back, the Island Living Pack, I did really want to use it, but I was just a bit disappointed in it. I don't think I've ever played with the mermaids, because I really love the mermaids in Sims 3. I love the underwater world, but it's just kind of, I don't know, I'm really missing the underwater worlds, so I haven't really played it much with Sulani, though I do think it looks beautiful, and yeah, the terrain and the plants and just everything is really pretty, but yeah, it's just not really a pack I use that much, so I really liked getting to build with it again. Now we're continuing on to the exterior. Like I said, I ended up having a bit of a living room situation outside instead of inside, so I enlarged the deck a bit, and we put the couch and the chairs down, and then I added this little pergola, I think it's called in English, on top of it, because I do want to have a bit of a shadow situation. I think that would be nice in real life, instead of just being in the full sun all the time. So I also added the scuba diving station, or at least just the gear and stuff. It's not a usable item, but it's nice for decorations, and I do like the way it looks, so I added that outside. And also one of those emergency saving things, I don't know, what is it called? Like a lifeguard buoy or something? I'm not sure. Obviously, English is not my first language, so I'm just continuing to kind of scroll through debug because I wanted to make use of all the items that the pack has, including the debug items. I was kind of disappointed by the amount of decorational items there were in just the regular pack. I do like the underwater pictures that I put earlier with the dolphin and the fish, but those are in debug, and you can actually get them in game by, I think, scuba diving, and then you need to buy a scuba diving camera, and then you can take underwater photos. I'm pretty sure I have played with that function before. And I'm continuing to put some plants. I found these plants in debug, and I thought that was a really nice addition how they kind of hang over the pergola, so added that. And I also, you might have noticed that earlier, but found some flowers that go up the columns, so really like that. And I ended up going for a bit of a natural or neutral color scheme regarding the flowers. I was considering the red ones, especially since there are some red flowers in the nearby. As you can see here, there's some red flowers outside of the lot, so it ended up using some of those here in the front to match with that. Use a lot of debug landscaping to keep the price a bit down, because if you do want to buy this as a residential, then it would be ideal if it's not too expensive. But I think it ended up being like 38,000, so it's definitely more expensive than a starter home, which is kind of fortunate. But I also didn't use like the cheapest appliances, and yeah, I definitely wasn't trying to do a limited budget build, which I do a lot. And sometimes it is nice to just be able to use whatever without thinking about budgets. So I also added these debug plants, and I wanted to put them in planter pots because I thought it would be a nice addition. But I feel like when you're playing on this lot or building on this lot, you can put a lot of landscaping, because obviously there's all sand, and you could put some grass down instead, but I feel like this is just a really cute way to kind of change it. So that's what I ended up doing. And I ended up putting a fence because while this is a one-bedroom house and it's not meant for any children, I do feel like it's realistic to have some fencing outside to not have anyone accidentally fall into the water. Though I'm not sure if that is something that's done a lot in real life with these type of houses, because it also is really nice to just be able to jump in the water, I guess. But I just put those stairs. So that's about everything for this build. It's kind of finished now, so we're just looking at some screenshots now, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!